Na 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 na, yeah. Certain fire flames, now born again. Times really change. Talk truth. We've seen better days. The youth not safe again. What a damn shame. Talk truth. How that them are promote. So quick them selling out. Them sold them cashing out. Yeah, well, this is Kemetic 9 representing for Ijahstars and the mindset. If you now move right, get your mind checked.
And redeem. Oh, the Most High God, Rastafari. We are not divided, all one could we. I, Selassie, Rastafari, my Lord and Majesty, bless.
My Lord.
And
My Lord.
we call on the Honorable Queen Mother Maisie to give us a royal rendition of our opening chorus. Majesty, bless.
Oh, Majesty Divine, give thanks to the Honorable Chair. Blessed love to the royal family of the Councils of Elders and of the Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress. We give thanks to each and every one this morning as we gather once more together to reason on all that is right within ourselves. Thank Jah for guiding us and protecting us, and that we are together again. Praise His name. Jah. Rastafari, give thanks, my Lord and Empress. So this morning, I'll be starting off my chorus with Bird in the Treetop, praising Jah Rastafari. Give thanks.
Majesty.
Bird in the treetop, praising for I. Flowers in the garden, bowing down there. Rastaman sit up in a praises. Praises unto Farai. Then why should I not? Why should I not praise Rastafari? Bird in a treetop, praising for I. Flowers in the garden, bowing down there. Rastaman sit up in a praises. Praises unto Farai. Then why should I not? Why should I not praise Rastafari? I know. Holy Mount Zion, Zion, Zion high, Lord holy, oh Zion, Zion, Jehovah, Jah, Rastafari, my Lord.
Majesty, bless.
Blessed
and in our through our upcoming celebration, our Honorable Congress Day, even the Battle of Adwa, we'll ask the Honorable Priest Nappy to give us that redemption, that chosen few rendition, my Lord.
Yes, greetings, family. Give thanks once more. Give thanks we can share with each other, So it is Majesty, So, yeah, man, them chorus is chorus where when we first start tried E.A.B.I.C, Starting a New York from the early and when we go Jamaica, at least I visit many Bingy and I just never limit myself so up in the E.A.B.I.C alone, Yet that's why I function through. It's just all like energy go to per se, but when it comes to communing and all of that, always have the wider family, Never leave them out. My Lord and Empress, give thanks, So This chorus go, it's a chosen few. No, you see them chorus, a stepping chorus. Still enough. I don't want two different. Say
Fine,
it's a chosen few. The chosen few. I do no wrong. I cha redemption song. Said it's a chosen few. The chosen few. Said it's a chosen few. Oh, the chosen few. Said it's a chosen few. Said the chosen few. I do no wrong. Cha redemption song.
Chosen.
It's a great pure. The chosen few. In a holy on Zion, Zion, I Lord, holy Mount Zion, Zion, I, my Lord and Empress. But let's reflect forward, as we say. Remember, we talked about the one thing. Kind of the early, isn't it? It was the one two different than what we have now, you know.
Natural.
When we first go ahead, it wasn't that. It was the
The tempo was not fast.
yeah, it was more solemn. More
yeah, that
solemn.
I have big, that first bingy.
Do good.
And then after that, I guess we are coming there to do some of the him, them, I understand that, you know, that's one of the reasons why them slow down the one two. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes
Good.
sometimes I wonder if it was just trying to be a difference than the other set of rasta out a road, create the difference in the one two, you know, it's up to debate also, you know what I mean?
I think it's a more solemn. The one two we have is a more solemn one two, and more churchical vibes. With,
Right.
Seeing
Right. And the other one's more like a fire bingy. Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes,
Brethren, I would since we did that since we in that conversation, they just like I and I. It's not one tempo of Nyabingi, the Brethren them chant either. There is
Right.
different music that call for different tempo of the bingy. This is something when me and Rasai by them talk about more than once in our reasoning. See, there is various tempo
Right.
of according to the music. Just same thing like Monk and I. We have the marching hymn them, and then we have the regular 1-2 order hymn them. See, you have chorus that require a little more, faster tempo than another chorus that is a bit slower. So it just according to the music, the song, the hymn that yeah. But it's coming from the same 1-2-3 drum application. You know, see.
Natural. My Lord.
To the chair, my Lord.
As blessed.
Honorable royal family.
The register, don't call it here, my Lord. After the register, please.
Yeah. I know you was just healing up and I give thanks to the healer prophet album. So even at this moment, we'll call for the Honorable Priest Earl to give us a welcoming word coming in for this priest reasoning today, my Lord. Honorable
After the
priest,
register,
Sir.
no. After the
no, we don't
register,
do,
no.
we don't do this before the register.
All right, my lord.
My
Yes,
lord.
royal family, we are not divided, all one goodie, I and I, all one goodie, one in hope, and doctrine, one in charity, as the honorable prophet did say, one God, one aim, one destiny, Yes, do give thanks, for today being the best day, 'cause, yesterday is the past, tomorrow them say the future, and none of these part exist beside today, So just give thanks, say, we can make we can put a smile on our face, today, so, give thanks. Not your life, not my life, but one life I share, where I call the Almighty God, Yes, which the kingdom of God is within man and within woman, you know what I mean? So, I give thanks to the, that word, the chosen few are for that. I don't want to say straight away, but sometimes you maybe set a program and it don't go as how you want it just go, but sometimes it still end up beautiful because remember God in the midst, and sometimes
Rastafari.
I plan, but you must remember say I one director, you know what I mean, I one architect,
My
so
lord.
everything that is doing now, remember we did do it already, I just throw it in our consciousness now. This we can do it again, So, just our thought and coming together. You know what I mean? We maybe don't see the material part at the moment, but sometimes it's that at the part where we lose our spiritual way, where some of the time we don't even know so the spiritual way is so strong. That's why the word marvel, upon our pyramid and even upon some of our vessel that coming from the hardest stone to show yourself. It's not one golden kingdom, it's so many in the past, one perfect love.
Honorable priest, give thanks for your keen insight and inspirational words, my lord. And we ask the Honorable Royal Tech Empress Trisha to give us a roll call. Majesty bless.
Blessed Lord, my Lord and Empress, give thanks for this
Majesty.
council of elders and all priests and empresses who have come together to make things right through education and love for one another. Before I do the roll call, I would like to read Lessons for African People, the course of African Philosophy, first and only class of 1937, by the Right Honorable Professor Marcus Mosiah Garden. Lesson number 13, The Universe. No man yet knows the riddle of the universe. It has been the eternal puzzle, but men in their searching desires are aiming to unravel the mysteries behind it. It contains universal knowledge beyond the knowledge of our world. If man can succeed in identifying the facts of the majority of units in the universe, he approaches a greater degree of knowledge than those who confine themselves only to the investigation of things terrestrial. The greater minds of our world have experimented and are experimenting in their desire to grapple with all the facts that sustains the universe. Words by Honorable Marco Mosiah Garvey Selassie.
Rastafari.
Yeah. Rastafari.
Today, February 23rd, Sunday, February 23rd, 2025, 1:47 p.m., Council of Elders will call. Ainsley, Chairman.
Blessed love.
Honorable Priest Rasavana.
Present.
Honorable Priest Ailana.
Also.
Honorable Priest Napi.
Greetings.
Honorable Priest Earl. Honorable Priest,
Priest Earl also present.
Honorable Priest Knuckles,
Yeah, man, one perfect.
Blessed
Honorable
love, Royal
Priest
family.
7, Honorable Priest 7,
Blessed love.
Honorable Priest Advar,
Blessed love, family.
Honorable Priest Paul, Marisa Babel, Honorable Priest Aswad,
At your service, Royal Empress and the House of Israel. Lights.
Honorable Prophet Albert,
Blessed love, Empress. Blessed love, family.
Honorable Empress Mariam,
Blessed love,
One more prophet. One more, hold on, one more prophet. Sorry, one more prophet.
yes,
Prophet Ijahstar, prophet.
I pray thee, my Lord. Honorable Prophet Ijahstar,
Glorify, blessed
In
love,
present
honorable
and account.
family.
thanks, I pray thee for that. Honorable Empress Maisie,
blessed love, Empress and my Lord.
Honorable Empress Akim,
Blessed love, everyone.
and myself, Honorable Empress Tricia. Let the records reflect that 15 members are present at the time of opening. Back to the chair.
Majesty bless, my Lord and Empress. We do give thanks for today, another day of reasoning. Give thanks for the Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress, Church of Divine Salvation, Council of Elders. Give thanks for the coming together, fellowshipping one to another, even on this day, as you never appreciate, the best day. Today we will be reasoning about the culture and the uniformity of things in the earth. What I mean to say with that is that from time immemorial, even to now, with the how mankind stay, you can judge cultures by certain signs, you know, whether the culture is stagnant, whether the culture is growing, or if it's declining. So today we want to define, you know, defining declining culture and identifying the antidote or solutions. You know, it's not a day of bashing. We see the problem, we understand the problem, we see it's not just us. We see from time immemorial these things happen. So we want to look at the signs, and then we want to come up with the antidote, which is the solution. So it's a solution-driven day. Today is what we are calling for. So we will start it off with a video by Professor James Small, my Lord and Empress. Blessed love, Empress Trish.
1 second, let it.
Everything that exists in to God is the totality of creation itself. Okay, the totality of creation itself means everything that exists, including you, makes up what is God in the African mind. You're nothing more than an aspect of God having your peculiar experiences as a part of the greater whole. The consciousness of that relationship that makes you spiritually aware. See, and he's cast God in his image so that we see God only in the context. That's not an African notion of God. You've got to tell it often enough. They didn't know what they know now until somebody told it over and over again. All religion is nothing but a path to understanding divinity. And divinity is nothing but a knowledge of cosmology and ecology and your relationship to it and this relationship to you. I mean, most human bodies break down to over 400 elements and minerals. Every one of those elements and minerals can be found in the rest of the cosmology and the rest of the ecology. So you have diamond in you, you have gold in you, okay? You have manganese in you, you have iron in you, you have tungsten in you. You don't think the iron in you talk to the iron in the ground? Or that the manganese in you talk to the manganese in me? So we don't know how to make relationships no more. Even when it happens, when you meet a woman, like when you met your wife, something attracted you to her. It wasn't just her looks. It wasn't just desire for sex. Something, because there was a bunch of other women around who you could have been attracted to. Something attracted you to her, and something attracted her to you. And that's what you've got to find. See, when you find that thing, that's when you find the God in you, and you find the God in her. See, it's the God in you that recognizes the God in your mate. And that's when you become one. Seek knowledge, and then teach the knowledge you have. But be willing to learn, and be willing to say, the one thing I know is how much I don't know. And then open yourself up to know more than you knew before. We need to just learn how we are. We are an old people. And it is likely that the civilization in the Nile Valley is not 5,000 years old. It may prove to be over 800,000 years old, with some new information that's come out about the age of the Sphinx. Well, if the Sphinx is 800,000 years old, just to get to the consciousness to build such a thing, you had to be around civilizing for a couple of 100,000 years. And so we're an extraordinary people who've been here for an extraordinary long time doing some extraordinary thing. Now we're getting our behinds whipped because we've forgotten who we are. And we're busy trying to be the thing that is kicking our behinds. Now, the way to defeat our enemy is to stop being our enemy. Kill the enemy within, and the enemy without dies. It's that easy. And that's why it's important to have the knowledge that we are trying to bring to one another, me to you and you to me, every day. So we can grow our families, grow our neighborhoods, grow our community, grow our nation back to what it should be. Talk about the God, deity, and Kemet. Having this conversation, they didn't talk about it that way. Language, Kemet, the language of Kemet is just like any other language in Africa. So what we are doing is kind of an error. We're calling these things gods. They did not. These are elements and forces of nature. Shu is the wind. Geb is the earth. Nut is the elements in the skies. They're not talking about gods. They're talking about integral aspect of the totality of divinity. And that each of these aspects has a function that makes up divinity. Divinity is every and all things at once, including you. And that's all they're saying. To understand this is to become wise. You know, not to understand this is to remain a slave. To God is the total.
That is it, Empress Trisha. Blessed. Honorable Royal Tech.
Yeah, that's the end of the video.
That's the end, okay. Yes. Well, we give thanks for that video there, so, you know, we didn't get to talk about the first thing usually we talk about is the elder care program and what is so far. So before we get into the decline, we could give a clearance, because I understand that Priest Pablo trying to see if we can seal him up by Thursday. So I don't know, Priest early, could I give you a clearance on that, my lad? Honorable Priest Earl, you can unmute your mic.
Yes, Honorable. Royal Chair.
Yes, my lad.
The priest are the 27, you know. You see, I don't know if the 27th is next week, Sunday, or what. You see, but
Not the 27th.
Next week Thursday.
Yeah,
It's
Thursday.
Thursday.
Well, really and truly now, as a priest, I never did want to even go so near to the celebration of our foundation, because if you know what is taking place upon the foundation, they want so much help, you know, them will go talk about it. But since I go up there from with you, make the energy. I am priest Daniel. I bring up that energy in a way. 7 man in the morning, 7 man in the evening. So some of the time these individuals never get in that morning blessing, because remember, you know, some come in the morning, right? And I the hell that do the come in the morning and get that blessing. I hand it over now to even the man them the midday and even the evening, right? So just like how the little youth them, if you see I was trying humbly on the camera, I tell the brethren, focus on the reverence, don't focus on the little youth them, they say, make them stand at attention at the time of reverence. I was talking to this young man where just come in at the evening, and he was still disobedient to I, even when me didn't put no fight on the camera neither. You understand me, I say? So I never want to be boisterous at the moment, so him still have to get a little draw up. You know, so when
Family, remember, so we're streaming live, my lord. Remember, so we're streaming live. Yeah. Good time.
Yes. Yeah, so I need a little touch up, my lord, when them little baby they come home to be. You understand me? I say so. You know what I mean? Yes, my lord. All right, the princess streaming. Right. So the healthcare again, as I said, Jack Live did, you know, some individual come when I don't remember if he's a minister of health or where, you know what I mean, and give him a checkup in the yard, you know. The hanky joy is still there, you know, still need a strength, but him still a move around. Yes, my lord, one perfect love.
Majesty bless. Well, I guess when Priest Lamont come on, he will give us a more understanding moving
To the
forward.
chair.
Yes, Empress.
I think what Priest Lamont said, my lord, I think what Priest Lamont said is that we are closer. Monies were submitted, and I think it's something like 68,000, which is approximately 400-500 US that is needed. The service is set for the Thursday, the 27th, but he will be clear as to how everything else will go. But they are closer to the number than Father would give them.
Well, as the Honorable Priest said, they really never meditated to have it so close to the celebration, the first. So it's a reason that we will reason with Priest Lamont on a different platform, so he can give us a full clearance beyond the Honorable Priest. So as we moving forward on our agenda this morning, signs of a declining culture. You know, anyone would like to read? Empress Trisha, would you like to read it out, or you want me to read it?
You can read the first 6.
Okay, read out this one here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Majesty bless my Lord and Empress. And why we are reasoning like this, because of a declining culture, is because of the signs that we are seeing. Even that reason what Honorable Priest Earl just bring up today is a sign. wherein the ones who come at evening, they don't want to listen to the one who come at morning. You know, it's a kind of a breakdown. So we want to, we're not naive. We want to look into it, analyze it, and see if any others pertain to us and where we can do to uplift ourselves. And as we know, unity is our objective. So we continue reading. Decline, signs of a decline in culture. Decline of membership. The lack of leadership accountability. The overall lack of commitment. Decreased innovation. Loss of social division. Loss of practice. And a diminished sense of community identity and lack of trust, poor communication from leadership, lack of clear vision, inability to enforce rules. So these are signs of when a culture is going through a struggle, you know. Continue. When a group loses touch with its core values and traditions, increased social division, distrust, and a lack of civic engagement, lack of economic growth and sustainability, and a loss of vitality, an erosion of tradition where there is less participation in cultural practice and celebrations, a decline in new ideas and artistic expression, an increased cynicism and apathy, a general lack of enthusiasm or commitment to share values, increased polarization and hostility, and a disregard for social well-being.
All right.
Empress, you want to pick it?
No, yeah, no, yeah. Don't, we go back to the beginning of the, yes. Let's take the conversation from there, you know, because the next segment is the formal suggestions. But let's take the conversation from there to the chair as a discussion for the blessed.
Yes, but you can start it off in a praise.
Well, as it says here, you know, signs of a decline in culture. And this is a general observation. This is not, it's not targeted to any specific group or culture. These are standard ways in which you can identify, as the Honorable Chair had said earlier, identify our development process, our evolution process. So here it says, decline of membership. Now we look among ourselves and we say, and we had this discussion last week, and just to follow up on this discussion, as the Right Honorable Chair had said, you know, in one recording of history, it speaks of how many members Dada had with him when he started the Congress in 1958. Then it goes on to speak in 1970s, 78, whatever it was, how many members there were among the man, and so on and so on. So we look at the statistics of our membership in just this category alone, decline of membership. And we say, when we reached our heyday, at the pinnacle of our development, what was the number? And when we look at today, the number that exists within our spaces, are we developing? Are we growing in numbers? Well, for most camps, we would say no. The answer would be no, because you look at Bubba Hill is down to a handful of membership, and other groups and other regions can speak for themselves. But coming from the headquarters, what was the headquarters and what was the foundation of our liberty, we can see that there is a decline in membership. See? And as it goes on and goes on, one can identify the process and see if each category applies to I and I as a group. See? The lack of leadership, accountability, is that a problem among I and I? You know, are we, to be factual, is that a problem among us? We can answer that question as a group. The overall lack of commitment, do we see a standard of commitment among our membership towards the development of the Congress at this time in our existence? Decrease in innovation. Are we seeing new methods being implemented among us to foster the growth and development of us as a group? Loss of core values. Are we getting more principled in our interaction and presentation? Or are we getting looser, less, more casual, more liberal in how we deal with, our interaction and presenting ourselves to the world? It goes on to say, increased internal conflicts. Have we seen that among us as a group? Declining quality of work, resistance to change, growing social division, loss of traditional practices, and a diminished sense of community identity. And I will stop there. Those categories, do they apply to us? Are they applicable to us as a group? Let's answer that before we move on as a group. Bless it.
Majesty bless, my Lord, Empress. So, the floor is open. And, as I say, we just analyzing ourselves in a reality check. So, it's not no shame or nothing and no put down. But, we have to be real in order to, recognize what it is so that we could solve it. So, the question is to the board, to the panel. Do we see these qualities in us, my Lord and Empress?
Just to the chair, just quickly to add a disclaimer in there that, for the streaming listeners, the problem that exists among I and I as a group exists among all groups today and all across the board within the African or Pan-African development. So this is not a singular problem. We are addressing a problem of diminishing culture all across the African spectrum. So as the Honorable Priest said, this is no blotch or no or anything that ones are applying. We are doing a reality assessment of us as part of the Pan-African family, because we see the same problem across the spectrum. That's it.
My Lord, floor is open.
To the chair.
Yes, Empress.
I know this is a priest reasoning, but no one is opening, so I will go forward.
Freedom of expression.
I think it's things are on two sides of the spectrum. While even within our culture, we might see some of the lack and some of the decrease in core values, XYZ, because we are so spread out, we're four wings of earth, it seems like the problem is or these issues are even greater. In every space, most spaces, I should say, ones are doing works in their space. So like here in the islands, we have the priests who are doing their community service work through going on radio programs and educating the wider family. In Panama is doing something else. And so the dots are not necessarily connecting because we are in different spaces. What we have to do, and that will probably come in the solution section of this segment, is to figure out how do we communicate what is happening. So you have the mother, children are scattered different places. So they all need to start reporting to the mother so that, to that one entity, so that it seems that while it seems like things are declining, things are still happening. My lord.
Give thanks on every royal tech. Majesty bless, and I totally understand what you're saying. This is why we say it's not a bash thing. Because it ain't like we just lie down and ball uncle or surrender. Works and things is going on still, but we just evaluating the greater family, as a whole, as a collective. So I don't want to be talking too long. The floor is open for keen minds.
And pretty, and you're so right, because you have a set that is doing the positive works, but then there's still the set that lashes out at you or try to bring you down, even though you are doing a work. And it's a positive work to uplift the community, to uplift the Congress, to uplift your whole environment. So those on the lesser thinking part need to educate themselves more so that they can begin to see the vision that everyone else is seeing. My lord.
Majesty bless, Honorable Royal Tech. And the floor is open, my Lord and Empress. What does the item see those qualities or those patterns within us as a collective? My Lord and Empress. Remember, it's just to identify, because we're going on to solutions in the next segment. So if we do identify with problems, how we going to be able to solve it? So this is what we're asking from as a consensus. Do the rest of the items see these qualities or these patterns within us as a collective? My Lord and Empress, blessed. Floor is open.
So maybe we need to go on to the solution part of it.
No, but this is a discussion, and we are here as a group. The rest of the world is also listening to what we are analyzing. So and we can, as all advanced priests and Rastafari, make a conscious assessment of our state of the nation presently, and that is what we are asking for from the group. That's what we're asking for from the group, to make a conscious assessment of those categories that have been read, to say, as a group, is this conversation worth having? Are we having these issues? And if so, then we will now move on to the solutions, because we are not here to just highlight what may be happening. We are here, as the Honorable Chair said, solution oriented. So let's, as a group, each person use their own words to assess the circumstance we are all living in. So you feel it, knows it. Blessed.
Rastafari.
Honorable Chair.
My Lord.
Yeah, well, I agree. We got them problems all within all the house them. But it's to keep communicating and trying to move forward to better things among I and I.
But I say, please, I never catch you.
I say I agree that it's affecting all the houses in a sort in different aspects, in different ways. But is to do what we're doing right now, more communicating and strengthening one another.
Have to be called. So when you look at it in a way of like how many numbers you have, how many, ones you have as members, I don't think you can compare the kind of liberty that you can't just walk into, right? If you're doing it correct. It's almost like the church. You have pastors who go to institutions to be educated, and then it become a business. But then you have ones like back in the day when many of us were much younger, it was a call. You know, so when I think about Bobo Shanti, I wouldn't look at it in the way of like how many people are present, you know, but effective are the ones that are called, you know.
Yes,
Yeah,
Empress.
that's just my meditation on this. Give thanks.
Give thanks, Empress. Your input is always cherished.
Sure.
Glorified. So, yes, please.
Yeah. Another reason why I think we shouldn't really pay attention to membership so much because there's a loyalty of the members and all that matter. Because over the years we have a whole lot of ones get turban, priesthood and these things. Come in the camp and go out the road and you don't see them for a long time. Sometimes they never come again. You see it, so it's a loyalty that we should pay attention to. Has the loyalty declined and the priesthoods their commitment same way? That is what we should pay attention to, my Lord and Empress.
Majesty bless. Well, loyalty come in all them statements what we did just read earlier on, the signs of a declining culture. But seeing that ones and ones hesitant to respond to say, well, if they see in these qualities in us, we will move forward.
Yes, Honorable Chair.
Yeah.
I pray thee.
Yes, my God.
Give
Yes,
everyone
my
a chance. Give everyone a chance to answer. Take them time and answer. Go ahead,
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Please, sir.
Yes, Honorable Priest. Just like what the Honorable Empress did say, when it going down, it coming up one part, you know. When it seemed like it a end, it a begin. And a many time that go on in a hurt, you know, even the Thor theorem when I'm talking about those buildings that with attract energy. You understand? And free energy where Nicholas Tesla and all of these individuals were come try to so there was something in her where we just arise forward to were even greater than solar energy. So just like what the Empress said, and me time it go down, cause all the while you have something always going down and another consciousness rising. So I wouldn't just put it down. That's why I was even mentioning about our celebration, which is so important, because that is a Congress celebration, right? And it need all of the strength at that moment. You see it? You know what I mean? So that's why I was even mentioning about the date of, know, the transcend, of the brethren there, because, you know what I mean? As time goes by, which is as things fall away, you see, sometimes you have to go forward for that first energy, which is the salvation. Although go forward, but sometimes that togetherness of a energy or of a science towards it when we all gather in the tabernacle. I mean, so I never want to miss the celebration, which is the first, the Congress celebration there. So, it kind of come a little sticky. So, just like what the Empress said, it's a far away and it's not just a Rastaman thing. It's a worldwide something. It's not just, to wear in Rasta and support. And it have nothing to do with color neither. Because this fall in a way take place whether some races being not reproducing as they should, they are still fretting and for them say even like Caribbean they want to come now to look some strong man where would keep up them nation. This is a worldwide fall in a way and a worldwide rising also one perfect love.
My Lord.
Chair, my Lord.
So I don't have praise.
All right. Blessed love to one and all members. I didn't hear everything what Priest Ashavana was saying, but sometimes I come in a little late and I miss the whole situation. But from what I am ready to talk about is the signs of the decreasing culture, which includes how we employ ourselves, how we employ, and the turnover that we make and the poor communication, which is creating a decline in our brand and our reputation. Our poor work-life balance, our decreased morals, the jobs are not satisfying to the people, the poverty, lack of collaboration among each other like we're supposed to as a real family, and noticeable lack of collaboration with people on the whole. We see a lot of drops in engagements, people not participating, indicating breakdown in our sacred values and weakening sense of our community. In our community, like Trinidad branch, they have group separation. And these things cause a great turnover rate. People with the youths today, the youths of tomorrow don't know what to turn to because the foundation are dismantling. A significant number of Congress members are leaving the Congress, turning to Parliament for frequent things and indicating issues with cultural differences and creating negative conditions among us, and just instead of having meetings and reasoning and communicating. So communication breakdown is because of lack of open communication and honest communication, where members feel hesitant to voice their concerns and ideas due to people are branding them with names and putting us in all different kind of categories, funeral service, and it's damaging our reputation and negative perception for our Congress in the public eyes. It impacts a negative recruitment for us, client relationship, poor work, poor life, excessive work hours, and pressure in leading and carrying our Congress to it a few members. Yes, we talk greatly about the few, who we are part of the few, and the burning dissatisfaction that people have, and was our moral Congress members engaging in a general sense of positivity and eradicating negativity. We don't work together. In work spots, we have a group meetings, getting lack of communication with members working and people trying to be minimal in teamwork and in shared goals. This is leading to rudeness and the decline of basic manners and consideration for each other. So we have lost identity in our culture and neglecting the traditions of the customs and the values that once defined E.A.B.I.C community.
The chair.
Yes, Empress.
I don't want to say much because it's priest reasoning, right? But what I'm trying to, because I was away from the phone a little bit, so I missed, some of the topic that you are talking about. But what I catch from priest Earl is that this Thursday they want to put away the priest, right? Am I right?
Yeah, priest Lamont, they said such, yes.
Yeah, all right. But what priest Earl is saying that coming up, the 1st of March will be the Sabbath. The next Sabbath coming up, right? The Sabbath year coming up. And if you do that, if you go to bury the priest on the Thursday, you will not be able to attend the 1st of March, a very, very important celebration.
Yeah, but the Sabbath is not the 1st of March.
When are the 1st of March?
Yeah, man.
When are the
1st of March is Saturday.
Yes, man, at the 1st of March.
Yes. Yeah, all right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. So I wouldn't, if I didn't meet to tell you the truth of God love and speak the truth, I wouldn't want to miss that Sabbath anniversary of the Congress. God, that is the day the very, very, very important day of all the celebration, the 1st of March, when Congress was formed. I wouldn't want to miss that one. And that's why it is good for us as brethren and sisters to reason, you know, and to get things straight. Look on what is coming up, how we can do it, how we are going to set that, and we work it out.
Yes,
I sure
yes,
say,
Empress.
me was me wouldn't go. You understand? Come, me would have want that for me first summer celebration, because you see me, I respect and I look upon that day as the most important day of Bobo Shanti tradition, because that's what the Congress was for. These are my 2 words. I hope I didn't say anything that, you know, yeah, give thanks.
Blessed love. This is why we say we don't talk with Priest Lamont, because we understand it, certainly understand the position that Priest Earl showed. So yeah, that's to be reasoned, you know, to reason about. But give thanks for all what they said. If anyone have no, go ahead.
To the chair quick. Just make we put this to rest. That reasoning need to be had by the man on the ground that deals with the laying away. Saying, yeah, the honorable priest will need to link priest Lamont and put that sound to the honorable priest Lamont and priest Daniel and make that clear. I don't think nothing is written in stone. I think that date just came because the funeral home been calling and pressuring and want to get it done. And you know, when it gets to you as the individual that is getting the calls, you just kind of comply with what is being, you know, put out there. But I don't think there's nothing written in stone. So it's just for the honorable them on the ground reason
Yes,
to
my
get.
lad.
Bless you.
So if no one have nothing on that part, we go to the solution part, the Empress.
Hold on, hold on. 1 second, my lad. 1 second. No, man. Let's do this thing.
Empress.
Go back to what you just Empress. Empress, you must direct your traffic enough. You did what you posted just before this. The one before this. The one that you had last. Yes.
Yeah.
Everything that Priest Aswad just said, and because he said it, you know, in how he said it, he analyzed everything very clearly, you know. If we listen back to everything that he says and look at the categories,
yes,
I don't know if he knowingly did it, or if it's just out of himself, but he analyzed it very clearly, and this is where it comes in. This piece that the Empress posed while he was speaking. Empress, you can read it, you know, are you inspired to post it? Read it.
Through the chair.
Honorable Priest Knuckles, my lord.
Blessing, my lord. Thanks to the Royal Council. Give thanks for today's reasoning, the topics. Give thanks to all things of right that has been said earlier. Yeah, them can't hear me for me. I'm up on the road still enough.
Loud and clear.
Priest.
Give thanks, give thanks. A wonderful moment today, my lord. Topic is very interesting. The points that I hear, I think we can all relate to those points and see evidence of it amongst ourselves. The reasoning why is not as simple as pointing them out, you know? When I was listening, I'm thinking about we build huts. Our tradition, we build round huts in Africa and the Indian, them old people, and it requires a center pole in the middle. And I think related to this, that when that center pole is taken out, the roof will collapse. Need a different design. I think that has left.
You chip out the priest.
And so there is a transition.
We chip out
Can you hear me?
The last word we hear is has left.
Yeah, and what you're saying is very important.
So
make we hear.
Yes. It as one of the points is about lack of leadership and the absence of our father has left the house basically without a good leadership, because the model that we was following has changed, has shifted, and we have to build the hut now with different center pole or different structure to do it. There is also a transition. The piece, the video that was presented earlier, with the professor name, please?
James Small.
Yeah.
Yes, Dr. Small. Put it very well. Now, if you go back in time and listen to Dr. Small, you'll recognize, and the same thing I've seen with the rest of intellectuals, are coming now to the realization of the interconnectedness of our life and redefining our understanding of God to mean not an individual,
but a collective.
the wholeness of creation. Yes, the interconnectedness of all things. So we are all a part of God, which is what I think Dada did I try to teach you, but we miss it because of the word where him say, God in flesh. And so we limit ourselves to just understanding God in flesh and not God universally, you know? So is a transformation going on? No, yes, there is a decline in numbers. But where one of the hymns say, is stretching out the heart of men before the judgment seat. The Empress allude to that in terms of the heights of this particular tradition as a priesthood order. I've watched this over the years at camp. It's like people coming in waves. 1, 2 strong brethren from an area bring in all of the other one, they may follow them and thing. But then when time, the principles and the laws and something apply, it trash out liquor. And out of 8 or 10 brethren come on with 2 or 3 really stand up. So that is part of it, that the level that is required is not all ones have that stamina to stand up in it and become. So we also have to notice the one where we come see as elders, transition and leave us who was youngsters now as elders. So like me say, is a multiple layer of things happening all at the same time. But yes, there is a decline in numbers in certain areas. But if you look at it, I remember when I was in the kitchen camp, when I left, when we got here, the book said it had 68 members or 80 members, as the priest Dr. reiterate the other day. When I left, I was ministering to 179 people in the kitchen. So that was the bright day, but that was just for the headquarters. Now we have branches and offices and all over, so the number has multiplied even since the father passed greatly. But that center pole of governance and leadership is what's missing. So it's like you have 20 little different entities rather than the one big house with different rooms. I don't know if I'm making sense or talking it still, you know? So
that makes sense.
requirement of us is how to bring that oneness even with the absence of the father, you know?
RASTAFARI.
That is what we have to meditate upon. My Lord, and I would leave it at that for this moment.
Yeah, that is our mission today. So,
to the chair.
Honorable Priest.
And I would add into that now, that conversation now, as the priest said, yeah, we have grown in regions somewhat, but then there's still a decline in numbers in those regions, because I remember the days when St. Croix was a fully functioning branch with many members, many priests that were coming and going. Bahamas was a flourishing branch with many priests going and coming and even going to Africa. We're all across the board, our numbers have dwindled. You know, this is some of the things that we have to identify. It does not take away from anything. Accepting the realities that we are facing does not take away from anything. It puts us in a position to rectify it, to correct it. So that's why we have to practically and realistic look at what is happening. Seeing it is not, we have to come away from the mindset of blame. This is not about a blame or a doom and gloom apocalyptic announcement. A self-check for betterment. So we are looking at, okay, the numbers in camp is not even 20. Doubt if it's even 10. That is way beyond. And another thing that I will leave it on and leave the floor. A topic of discussion this week, when we looked at the video with Priest Earl and the youths them there, a beautiful settings that could have been even much more beautiful if we had the black roses in the garden blooming. There was no empresses there to chaperone the children, to show their motherly presence. That is a decline. Because last night on my program, I played a video interview of Shanti Bobby. And while throughout the interview, you could hear several empresses coming and going and blessing. Blessed love my Lord. And the priest have to stop for a second and bless them. And it was a beautiful scenery because you saw the balance of man and woman coming and going. We don't have that balance right now. So we have to look at our liberty critically, family, please, critically. Not because we want to identify the gloom, it's because we are trying to find the solution. And by prettying it up or looking at it just from the high end of it is not going to give us a practical solution because we're not looking at the spectrum of it, the full spectrum. See? And this is what is affecting our development. Because without the empresses, we know that wherever empresses are, you're going to find brethren. We have no empresses coming into the liberty on the level of how the liberty is accustomed to it. Even when you have brethren coming in, and even if they have empresses, the empresses are not coming to be a part of the fold because they are running from the rigidity of certain things or whatever it is that that's keeping them away. That is what we want to identify, how to now bring back that attractiveness of our liberty to the forefront. That piece that you had up there, Empress, that piece needs to be read before we move on. Yeah. Yes. One of the items can read. Yeah, man, that one of them.
Read. Please, I read it.
Ah?
It was read already.
No, but after what the priest said, he said everything that he said is right in this piece. So if we go back over that piece and now we can see more information.
All right, now I read it again. Continue reading. When a group loses touch with its core values and traditions, increase social division, distrust and lack of civil engagement, lack of economic growth and sustainability, and a loss of vitality, an erosion of tradition where there is less participation in cultural practices and celebration, a decline in new ideas and artistic expression, an increased cynicism and apathy, a general lack of enthusiasm or commitment to shared values, increased polarization and hostility, and a disregard for social well-being.
So you see that group of that group in right here identifies a lot of what is happening. When a group loses touch with its core value, what happens? There is, you know, when you lose touch with that, your whole cultural value system falls as well. Then you have what? Increased social division, which is what we see in the Congress. We have different, what they call splinter groups or groups coming out of one body that was one body during the father time. See, and so we're seeing that happen right there, increase in social division. Then it talks about distrust, you know, the mismanagement of how the Congress ran has caused people now not want to support as how they would quickly during certain times in the past. Because, you know, as you know, if you send money to do something and it's not done, then it don't encourage you to send money to that same entity again to get anything done because they have never followed through. So we are suffering signs of that as well, and a lack of civic engagement, which, as we know, is the what we call the statical function of the Congress. See, lack of economic growth, we can all identify that, and sustainability and loss of vitality. Vitality is the energy that energizes I and I to want to do things, that motivate us to do things. Have we felt a lack of that kind of energy now, differently from when the father was there? Were we more encouraged during that period of administration to do things on behalf of the group and the Congress? You know, so all of these things here kind of, you know, cynicism. What's cynicism? You know, like the emperor's speech, there is no lack of sepulchral tones in regards to the future of finite existence. There is cynicism, you know, of, well, we can't do it, or we not go do it, or it not go happen because of past action. You have a doubt or a apprehension towards something. See, commitment. Are we seeing more commitment towards our development and our function now than back in the past? You know, things like that. And we can identify with that. Seeing all of those things are applicable to us on one level or another. And we're not saying they're all on a critical level, but we can see that those areas do needing to be shored up for us to do better, to be more committed, to follow through and finish projects that we have started, to follow through with our items that Priest Seven's always posting, to-do list. Are we counting off on the to-do list, or is it the same to-do list that is posted every week? Meaning that we are not accomplishing the task at hand. You know, we have to look at those things practically and realistically. Seeing, and they are there right before our face. Every week for the last couple of weeks, the priest posts the to-do list. And I don't see one item removed from that to-do list to date. So we have not accomplished anything on the to-do list. See, so that is proof in itself. Now the item can move on, Honorable Priest, through the.
My lad, any other comments before we move on to solution? Because the only way you could solve a problem is to identify it, you know. Break it down into the little parts and identify each part. And then now you start deal with it, you know. So we encourage now, blessed love Empress.
Finish Priest Samson, finish your statement.
Go on, man. You
okay. So give thanks again. Freedom of speech. I hear Priest Rasabana saying, you know, that no sisters, no depend on the foundation.
No, no sisters. No, he said no sisters was there when the youth came up. Yeah, wasn't present. Right.
And that is the whole thing. You know, none of us never did if we take care of the little ones, to talk with the teacher, to tell them about, you know, a principle and all of that.
There were one time priests where were 50 empress upon foundation. Imagine that. And almost children. And all of a sudden, them take time, leave. Till it bring on to us. I think one daughter journey. The sister from Chile, Priest Cairo Empress. I think she had the only daughter that journeyed up there now, to my knowledge. But priest, what caused it? Is it the 21-day principle driven the sisters them away? They don't want to live it, on the foundation. I'm asking myself that question too, priest, because even on the meeting, right? You hardly having any, no portion of sisters not come to the meeting on Wednesday, and we are on Zoom. We're on Zoom. We're not in the same space. It's just we log in and spend a little time. So something is definitely not right. But what is it?
This is why we dissecting it and looking at it, from the inside out, and see where we can come with solutions and applications, So this is,
We just do what we have
Moral
to do.
principles.
To the chair.
Blessed love.
Mama Miriam, I don't think it was 100% the 21-day principle. I think as empresses, we want to be educated. We want to make certain that we are assisting and helping with maintaining the household, the family as a whole. And a lot of the empresses, and it's proven because they all got careers. They all who became lawyers, nurses, etc., different things, and in different fields. So that could have been it. The fact that living in an environment such as they were not able to pursue careers. So by leaving the foundation, they were able to go back to school, go to colleges, get their degrees, and move, be able to help to maintain their families.
And I pray thee too. You see, as an empress, things happen, Things do happen with, ones and ones that turn them to. But what can I say as priest time to see our best, we can get back on board and what we can do to encourage our sisters, and our brothers to really return back to the fold. It's more, brother will quicker to come. Sisters, you have to really, really, reach to them, heart kick out. You understand? That's a good reason going through, Majesty. I just pray.
Blessed.
Give thanks, praise.
And to continue?
Yeah.
To address a declining culture, potential solutions include promoting community engagement, revitalizing traditional practices, fostering cultural awareness through education, supporting local artists and creatives, encouraging intergenerational dialogue, which is very important, addressing underlying social issues, and implementing leadership initiatives focused on cultural preservation and revitalization, all while being mindful of respecting the unique aspects of the culture and encouraging community participation in decision-making processes. So Mama Miriam, you see, even there, it speaks about the education, the culture, cultural, the education and supporting, the artists. We have many empresses, even empress that came here online who is very artistic and creative with dance and with youth and, encouraging the intergenerational dialogue, which is very important, because if we're not able to focus on the youths, we will definitely lose them. Should I
Hearing
continue?
me? Are you
No,
hearing
through the
me?
chair.
1 second here, please, Saban. I just want to say to Sister Trish that not for the sisters them in this time are highly full of more knowledge. You know, their education wise is up there, you know. You understand? Even than when back into the days. You see? So, you know, I don't know. But these sisters now are well good. And their knowledge very highly increasing. So we see. Yeah, man. Give thanks. So
Yeah,
Yes,
Majesty, through the chair.
that's Prince Doggy.
Yeah, there's a key word here that needs to be highlighted. Revitalization. Yeah, it's that word, revitalization. It's just like how we say that the Constitution needs revitalization by revising it, bringing it up to current date and scope. Seeing it's revitalizing. You revitalize things because it's like your house. Your house, you paint it for a long time, so the color get dingy now, it faded and all of that. So by patching the cracks and scraping off the rust and all of that, giving it a prime and then a coat, you revitalize it. It look like a new house again. See, we need to revitalize our way of life. Them say anything that does not evolve with the time becomes obsolete. It gets left behind. So how do we revitalize our liberty? As our liberty is, family, you know, let's have some real discussion and probe each other's mind, because greater is in man than what is in the world. Just say a whole heap of greatness in I and I. We just have to unlock it, decode it, and bring it forward. So make we dig deep right now within this conversation. How do we revitalize this great liberty that we all attest to its greatness when we first found far right and came to the Black Christ? How do we revitalize that energy? Yes, sir.
Floor is open. Yeah, the floor is open, my lord.
Through the chair.
Yes, and I have a praise.
I would just love to add two other little things to the conversation.
Yes.
As Sister Trish talk about the empresses and our experience is that when we were there, the empress was just on camp. They couldn't be professionals. They couldn't do business outside. I mean, you could have do crafts, but you couldn't go work. My understanding and things that we have overall is this concept of going to live at camp. Camp was a temporary construct of the man because of the immediacy of saying we're going to Africa tomorrow. We're going to Africa next year. Remember 82, 81, 82, 2 consecutive years when the Babylon them come on crucifixion day on the Tuesday, and I sit down and I talk with the father and just say by next year. So that was in his mind. And in that state of mind, we suspend everything. You know, want to take no woman, you know, want a whole heap of family, you know, want a whole heap of this. We have grown and experienced. Everybody come off of the hill, and the empress then went back to school to prepare a better life for their kids. Because you realize, as Marcus did realize then, it might take some time. So the concept there of everybody go live on the hill, it can't be the same in bringing the young ones them. You understand? And we left everything, house and car and everything, we go live on the hill for We thought he was leaving in a couple of years. It might take a longer time. So there has to be a different way of a culture the ones coming. And that restrictiveness of ones can't work and all of them things there. The mindset they have to change. Also, that I say over and over, everyone never have to live on the hill. You could have live outside and come and service. The loyalty to support the hill and the other, you have to have that in a you. But you know, must go live on the hill. Like I say again, that was a temporary construct. So we have to bring all of these things to the floor. But you can't expect everybody to leave again and go back on the hill. Young, free angels when we don't have no family and all of them things there. That is a freedom, yes. But people with family and all of them things there, you have to reconsider how you're dealing with it. And that is not to take away from the loyalty to support the foundation and the tradition. You understand what I say? Yeah, but you have to rethink. Or you say you go just left everything, you not go work, you not go this, you not go that. Second of all, the financial breakdown is one of the major things of why some of these, the last set of things where I hear the priest read, come into being. It was centered around the Broomfield, crafts and all of them things. Now, more than one occasion, you have said to ones who close to him, when man talk about foreign man and all of them things, that you answer one at a time and say, I wonder if them things a Broom could have do all of this. It was the support of the international body that could have bring people, delegations to Africa and to this and support all of that thing. So the financial thing can be centered around just crafts and just on the hill. We have to expand the understanding and the awareness of the experience that we have been through and teach on a different level. My Lord and Empress, blessed.
Honorable Priest Knuckles, give thanks.
Great song, priest.
Vital point. Very vital point. Very vital point.
We must present the younger generation with a sense of growth.
Yes.
And reality.
That's where the priest was speaking.
And more options. Yes.
Yes.
Tell them to not go to go to school and who have professional jobs and still come keep your Sabbath and still support your government and something.
Natural.
But don't restrict you
Natural.
to just go live on hillside and say everything is all right. You understand? That's just my point.
Yes,
Blessed Majesty.
And that's a valid point.
And I'm going to jump in right there and pick up. Sorry, Priest Alamta. I know there is next. Just bear with me 1 second.
Go ahead, Priest Ratafala. Let's say not more. Let's go ahead.
My lord, the 33-man parliament development is supposed to do exactly what Priest Knuckles is talking about. Show them in reasoning. Because in that aspect where you have now compartmentalize your development, you identify now a minister of whatever it is, a minister of health then, since we're having health concerns on a level. That ministry now is supposed to develop itself in a way it can encompass now bubble doctors, and bubble nurses, Black Cross nurses for coming at the fold, come develop, while them still doing them thing out there, But now, because they are educated, they are credentialed, they have a little job too that is taking care of the economics, them can come now and give that 10% of their service. You don't have, because the ties don't have to just be in dollars and cents. Them come give them 10% now in the healthcare department, where you have Dr. Desmond, Dr. Hall, Dr. this, Dr. coming, and so the parliament, that is, the father saw all these things and we were moving towards all these things, It's stagnated. We get stagnated. Like you said, the middle pole, the center pole get removed. and everything get thrown off center. Everything. Because that's the path we were leading in. The man was talking about developing real schools, a real school system with a real curriculum. These were things that were discussed. A priest curriculum for a priest. All of these things were discussed with Dada before Dada moved. And were endorsed and left as a duty then for I and I to work on. So it's just what we're doing now is revitalizing the word that come into play, revitalizing these original initiatives and now get to be able to implement them and to fulfill them. Blessed. Peace salam, sorry my lord. Pardon.
And I have a priest alumni.
Yeah, man, you ain't need pardon because you don't do nothing wrong.
Give thanks, give thanks.
True. Yeah, I was gonna say a letter did leave from here complaining because they were operating a tractor. And the letter that come forward said that a man have a right to do whatever he see to do in all manner of workmanship, do it with all his might. That was the answer from the camp.
I ain't get exactly what you say. It's something far away. You can repeat what you said.
I said, because I was operating a tractor at that time, back in the days, a letter reached to the camp like, man with misunderstanding, thinking, well, Bob don't work for nobody, and these kind of thing, yeah. And the man who tractor using is a black man. So I working in union with a black man. So the king had to say, well, it looked like a power struggle going on there when the letter was read to him. And he sent back to write, the man have a right to do all manner of workmanship.
RASTAFARI.
So there's no limit to whatever a Bobo youth want to go study. Because like I tell my oldest son, Bobo gonna be everybody, Rasta gonna be everybody.
Natural.
Rasta is police already.
And
Rasta is bus driver, Rasta is teacher,
yes.
Rasta is everybody, right?
And
Rasta, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, my lord. And we are going to assimilate into a culture, you know, we're going into Africa. If we go in with these credentials, you know, any credential we have here in the West, any certification will be respected in the land. Yeah. So we're going in on a position of being a strength when we come there and not being a liability.
True.
You know, so the floor is open, my lord, or you want us key strategies to consider. Floor is open, my lord and majesty.
Chair.
Yes, honorable priest.
Yes, my lord and empress. When we try to figure out the way how something is declining, it's good to pay attention to what is it declining from? What level is it declining from? Right now, we hear one priest talk about the parliament, the 33 member parliament, which was never established when the general was there. We hear one priest mention that the leadership wasn't there when the father tried, right? Earlier in the reason I mentioned the word loyalty, and is a word that needs to be looked more deeply into. It's not just to say loyalty like you're loyal, you're part of the thing, so you're in it and you're there. That don't mean you're loyal. But you could do that for years and tell yourself that you're loyal, right? But what are you loyal to? Back to the father time. Some of us were just loyal to the father. Some of us were just loyal to keeping Sabbath. Some of us, it's our principle, our liberty is vast and broad, right? When you're loyal to the tradition, you're loyal to the fatherhood of God, the brotherhood, the daughterhood of God. I said, are we loyal to each other as brethren and sister? When we want buck with toe or fall down, where's the helping hand? Right? That is the loyalty. Right? What are we loyal to? So let us look back now and check from that time, how loyal were we to the, or I should say, to the fullness of the tradition? Or were we just loyal to certain parts and certain aspects and to the general alone? Right? That is what we have to pay attention to. We have to understand where we are coming from to know where we are going. People that are in knowledge of the history like a tree without its roots. You see it? So that is how I think we should, if we are trying to figure out, how we reach to where we are, we have to figure out who we were, who we really were. Were we scholars? Were we, on this level so high? Or did it seem that way because of the time we was living in and the level of education we had and the opportunities we had? Did it seem that way? Right? We have to observe this to really understand where we are going. I have to know where we come from. You see it, and how I see it, the reality is we wasn't all of that high on that level, so on that perfection and high level of loyalty. We was not. Right? This is the results of that. That is all what happened there. This is the results of what we was. Some of us was delusional, straight up. We are now starting to come to logical understanding and reality. And some of us still haven't. You see it? So this is the reality we need to face and admit to. As elders who experienced that time, admit it. What it really was, why it is how it is now. You see it? So yes, my Lord and Empress. Just
Praise the I love your train of thought. I love your train of thought, my Lord. Yes, Empress.
Here, my Lord.
Blessed love.
May I be able to say something?
Yes, my Lord.
All right, you talk about what is lacking here is trust. I'm going straight to the point. I'm going straight to the points today. The lack of trust means lack of confidence or belief in someone or in something or in each other, implying a feeling that they cannot be relied on. And there is a point of no honesty, often leading to suspicions and doubts about our intentions and their actions. Key points about lack of trust, and this is distrust. The relationship where there is lack of trust between people, it can lead to strained communication, suspicions, and difficulty in building intimacy amongst ourselves, which has caused in our past experiences betrayal, dishonesty, inconsistency, and can contribute to lack of trust. How can we build trust? Being open, being honest, keeping promises, and demonstrating reliability. This can help us establish our trust. And the distrust definition, we have to look at the signs of the distrust, the type and signs of the issues, the mental issues as well. And let me run it over fast, run up something fast. 10 strong points. How to get over the trust issues. Take a safe emotional risk. 1. Number 2, allow yourself time. Number 3, avoid the temptation of snooping or spying. Number 4, take our time in getting to know new people and knowing the old people better, because people have changed. We all change. Change is the most prevalent thing that is happening today, and it's the most permanent word. We will always meet change, and change brings reactions and actions. I ain't going into that detail. Coming out of the 5th point, communicate with your partner and communicate with each other. Communicate more so with people who you don't agree with and get to know them. When you see something you fear, Marcus Garvey told us this, you embrace the things you fear. That means you get closer to it and you get to know it. And when you realize there's no reason for fearing. So with communication with our partners, we get closer. Communication with the
Say that again. I want to repeat it. Say that again.
Communication with our partners, we get closer to each other, and that brings solution. We talk to each other. We talk to the letter. We talk to the individuals, to the third eye. We all know the truth. We just need to bring it up. But because of change, people lack the understanding. They don't want to change. Come off of that seat a little bit and get into a more comfortable seat. Change brings discomfort, and we react to change in a subtle way that we don't expect it. It comes straight down your jugular vein, and we cannot take it. Next point.
Number 7.
To reflect on the potential task of our issues working together. Number 7, acknowledging that our trust issues are similar and sometimes difficult, but we have to work together. Number 8, knowing the relationship between trust and control is very important. Because some people don't want to trust because you give up control to somebody. And then people who is in control, they move like other governments, and we could start acting like we are the parliamentarians and start to be feisty to each other and negative to each other and don't make the right choices. So we have to put down certain things and stand up to know our relationship between us must have trust and control. Number 9, learn to trust yourself. We don't trust another one because we don't trust ourselves. You judge people by your mirror reflection. When somebody says something negative about you, they're referring to themselves most of the times because they are seeing it like if from their eye spectacle.
Bram.
And number 10, number 10 is to realize that we must control our trust. If we could control our trust, we could respect another man's trust. Because the next man is me. And if I want to kill my brother, I'm killing myself. So fighting against each other is a suicidal approach to solutions. My Lord and Empress.
My Lord.
Beautiful. Beautiful, priest. Beautiful.
Thank you.
So the chair, a minute.
My
Lord. Give thanks to the reason going on, Majesty, you know. When I look on like within our timeline, you know, I don't know if it's a matter of trust because we never really have nothing that we have collectively that we can say we have to trust somebody over it or like that. What may I deal with? You know, really. I think this time now, things set, not like past gone, you know, things set somewhere, you know, where you have to rely upon no trust, but no trust no one. I know everything's locked up in a certain way where it's not about I want can just go and go do what they want to do. we have check and balances. You know what I deal with. And right now, as I say, if we can get our hands on some good funds to do things, I think we'll see a different side of it still. You know?
True.
I really think so. If we really get access to that, my lad. You know, we really never really get access to collective some good funds where we can do some work. Really see. You know what I mean? Just some look at bits and piece, you know.
Sure.
We do. I have to big up where we there because in Miami, these Virgin accomplish a great thing. Your bank account look pretty decent that if we really decide to get a property, we can get that. And that is years of putting in consistently funds, having a meeting and them way there and doing the thing where we need to do. You know what I mean? So it can be done still, Majesty. Just that each and every one of us have to just step up, you know? And as we said, you know, it comes out to individual fraud and circumstances that one is in. I can think that maybe economics has depleted, you know, maybe from them early time till now, possibly. That could be a cause also, because it's not everything that was running the same way ever going the same way all the while. You know, and that can create, you know, imbalance in the economics, and that I got trickle down the same way. You know what I mean? But as I said, my lad, you know, we just have to just keep putting on to the wheel, you know. And we don't know when that hour will come when God will bless you some way where, you know, we just have to be unified that when them time they happen, we deal with it uprightly, man. My lord, give thanks.
Honorable Majesty.
Give thanks.
Yeah, give thanks for all them input. Yeah, come make a point. You know, so I think this is the first time we really start the universal economics. You know, because every man was taking care of himself in some little way or the other. You know, and we help one another along the way. But the universal economic plan, you know, never really set. Me try set it, yeah, but me get a struggle. But, you know, I had to have, this is why I say the young man then must have a sense of growth, a sense of becoming better than when they come around us, you know? So I don't want to take too long in reasoning. We have the key strategies to consider. So any other
one point, just 1 point to the chair. 1 point to the chair. When it comes to economics, I have to face one of the realities too. You know, there's 2 points. One, to follow up on what I just said a while ago. One of the things that we need is structure. See, structure just now, and that is one of the things we have to face. We have just now started to structure beyond just a church setting. See, prior to this era, the 21st century, we were basically functioning as a church government church type of thing. The structure, you know, where you're compartmentalizing, you know, which is what the parliament structure does to it, giving direct areas of responsibility to different segments of the group, is where I have been short. We are now starting to see the value of these things. So we are in which, you know, hindsight is 2020. The other point is that back in the day, a lot of the support, the heavy support that came from those among us and of us who were juggling, who was dealing with herb on a different level than now. We are up in age now. There are certain things we're not doing. And a system has changed as well. See, and with the change of the system, I have not been able to be part of that change as a collective level. See, we are now trying to see how that can manifest. See, so all of those components slow down the funding level, where you could have call upon a man where you know say a hustle upon a certain level, and him have excess amount of extra funds that him could have put towards your mission or towards the church mission, the government mission. that is not there like back in the past. And that was where a lot of the heavy lifting come from. There was big money that was able to buy 7, 8, 9 tickets at one juncture, one time. And each of those tickets is $2,000 a piece. That came from the heavy lifters that was lifting and giving funds on that level. Blessed.
My lord. And with everything, you know, as we say, as the Honorable Priest Seven was saying too, the loyalty to the culture, in cases, everything. You know, one time, well, I could only speak for what I see down on this side. The enthusiasm to read Psalms and the enthusiasm for service will start on time. And we have the hymn on, you know, you have it down. A man want to know how the air go. That has also is lacking right now. So in the sum of it all, you know, everything is a circle. You know, everything we must uplift. If we find ourselves in a camp, you know, 7 man reading Psalms, man coming out early, same way how we structure in we statical movements, also we governmental movement. So it's a whole, you know, a whole system had to be revitalized, as your neighbor priest said, you know. So any other
Key strategies to consider as we go forward, attempting to do that. Giving us some ideas there, and can read into that. Key strategies to continue. Community-based initiatives.
To the chair. To the chair.
Yes, Empress.
Before we go on to key strategies, I would like to say, first and foremost, we give thanks to the Council of Elders, to this body, who fearlessly takes on all these hard topics and try to solve, you know, come up with solution, recognizing the issues and the problems within and coming up with solutions. So I do give thanks to each and every member on the Council of Elders and to all the family listening and, you know, that supports the Council of Elders.
Majesty. Give thanks for the word of strength, Empress, and encouragement. Say a famous reggae singer say, encouragement sweetly delivered. We give thanks for the words of encouragement. Majesty.
Continue. Key strategies to consider community-based initiatives to include cultural festivals and events. Organize regular celebrations showcasing traditional arts, music, food, and customs to reunite community pride and engagement. Volunteer programs. Encourage community members to participate in projects based on cultural preservation, like restoring heritage sites or documenting oral histories. Youth engagement programs. Develop programs that educate young people about their cultural heritage and provide opportunities for them to actively participate in cultural practices.
RASTAFARI.
You see, Empress Trish. The discussions of the past couple of days, them come right in these words right here, so because there has been a discussion amongst I and I, you know, about youth. Just as we were talking about the lack of females presence, the lack of youth presence, and how to bring back that vibe amongst I and I. And right here it's showing you these are standard strategies that they are giving us here. You know. These are not our strategies that we just coin on our own. They are showing you practical strategies that have been proven to work. And as the Empress just read, the cultural festivals and events, that mean creating, and that's a fundraiser, right? You're creating events that portray your culture, marketing your goods at the same time, and giving opportunity to your members to participate on all levels, to make a money if they are production, or to play a role in some part. Volunteer programs, things that we're doing, like it said, documenting oral history. The youths them that are good at technology, and people like Priest Germain and so forth. Yeah, those are the youthful energy you want coming out to help I and I to document our testimonies. See, I and I as the elder, take a time out to sit with them and to share I and I testimonials with them, and they would document them. Opportunities that some of I and I never get with our elders. Give thanks, we did get to document a few, but a whole heap passed with their knowledge, and it is not recorded for I and I to now reflect on and learn from. So that is a key point, and it right there gives opportunity to bridge the same gap now between the elders and the youths. See? And then the final category, youth engagement program. Back to the chair.
Majesty bless. As the priest was talking, when their reason did come up, where we were saying, look at the infrastructure of the Catholic Church as a church were running them affairs, them run the governmental, statical, and all them ways. And in all them things there, you go see priests is the accountant, or some non-mother, queen mother, none, however them title themselves. I'm saying that to say that what we're speaking about might be on the altar per se, but as a Jerusalem Schoolroom Congress is a priestly Congress. That means to say it would have been priests who would have had to set up all the infrastructures. So all this, that's why we're entailing this as a priest reasoning, because it is left up to us to really build that infrastructure, because it's a priest kingdom, man and no man kingdom. So I just say that to say, as priests, figure so we not just, with a reason about the hymn and the altar.
Not outside of the scope of our, it's not outside of the scope of our responsibility.
Rastafari.
I get you, man. Yeah, man, get you.
Floor is open. Okay. Education and awareness.
Go ahead, read it, my lord.
Education and awareness. Curriculum development. Incorporate cultural studies into school programs to educate students about their heritage and build appreciation for diverse perspectives. Public workshop and lectures. Host events where experts share knowledge about cultural tradition and history to raise awareness amongst the wider community. Media campaigns. Utilize local media platforms to promote cultural awareness and highlight positive aspects of the community. So these are some of the, educational movements we can use moving forward, curriculum development, we have, that's why we need educated ones in the ranks. Because we have the foundation, we have the salvation order, so now they can build on that. We suppose our children supposed to be better off than we know. We come and, we're not sacrifice, but we come and, build the foundation, stand in the foundation. Now we start to build a house on that foundation. where in the house we have all aspects of humanity, you know. We have the health aspect, the educational aspect, the agricultural aspect, the social aspect, and, you know, the kingdom of God, Rastafari. So the floor is open, my Lord and Empress.
Well, through the chair, I said that, my lord, I would say that, and I give thanks to the Council of Elders here, because the previous categories that were up on the screen a while ago, the council is fulfilling education and awareness, curriculum development. These presentations would stand as a form of curriculum arrangement or development, because we are using this platform as administrative members to bring these kind of information, these kind of topics and discussion to the family. And we are not just bringing, like we said in the beginning, identifying that there are problems. We are bringing solutions as well, creating the critical thinking process amongst I and I as a group. So I see where the council itself is fulfilling some of these roles right here. Public workshop and lectures. And we have all been in agreement that where we can find and invite professionals, not necessarily Bobo or even Rasta, but professionals in areas of expertise that I and I need to know or to utilize. We should do that. We should invite ones that are willing to come and speak to us in these places and platforms like this in regards to whatever it is, you know, money management, bridge building, farming, you know, whatever it is that we are about and we need to have the knowledge of, and we have access to professionals, we should invite them in to perform workshops and lectures. And again, media campaigning, which is what we do in promoting these reasonings and other programs within our group and our presentation. You know, we just have to formalize it a bit more, getting a whole committee involved in those areas where it is a department dealing with media campaigning. And that's a role that they do on a constant. That's their role, that every time we have a meeting, that department comes and give a report on what media initiative have been put forth in the last whatever time period. Yes, bless.
To the chair. To the chair.
Yes, Empress.
And which is being done, the media campaign through Honorable Prophet Ijahstars. And we do have Priest German, who has his YouTube channel also. So it's just a matter of connecting ones together so that they can, you know, interact and help help the council move the information forward and what?
To the chair, my lord and empress.
Honorable Priest German, my Lord.
Blessed love, my lord and empress. Give thanks for yet another day. Arrangement, give thanks for all that have been said so far. And I would like to add to the conversation of how,
yes, my lord.
You know,
Your input is very important.
Give thanks, my lord. Yeah, well, for many years, I've been agitating the same way, for I and I as a people to rise within certain, economical aspect. And one of the things I've been looking at, and I think I did bring it to the board attention, is that we have a platform, for the YouTube channel, the Elder Council YouTube channel, and I don't think it's being utilized enough. These Sunday meetings there, most of these meetings, as my Lord just said, we are making ourselves wise amongst ourselves, the 14, 15. How much of us ever gather here at Sunday time?
But I think it needs to be more broader. It needs to be to a wider spectrum, a wider family. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm suggesting that these programs go live at Sunday time. At least once every strong. Let's put this awareness, not just to ourselves, but to the general public, to the population. Rasta, non-Rasta, young, old, everybody alike. You know what I mean? And also to grow the channel to that point where we can actually monetize it and actually have the funds now coming to actually support, you know what I mean, the elder councils endeavors, you know, whichever things we need to take on. We have, you know, money coming from multiple angles. Yeah. And like my lord just stated, this is a different time we're living in. We have social media that we could use to actually disseminate information, you know? So, like my lord just said, a council, a body, a goodie, or members of media need to actually gather together where we coming together to decide what information we're going to put out to the public and when, you know? And like I say, I see this Elder Council platform, the YouTube channel, needs more work in growth. It's very, very, it's something that I see that, you know, could help us, you know, financially also, you know. And like I say, even with the other social media, Facebook, Instagram, what have you, let's come together. Even if one individual have to manage, I manage the Facebook while somebody manage the Instagram, but information is being disseminated constantly on a daily basis. You know what I mean? And that is how we're going to see a change, same way too. Bless the Lord, my Lord and Empress.
And Honorable Priest Jermaine, we are being live streamed today on Ijahstars the Mindset.
Okay.
Speak. So I would encourage the I and Prophet Ijahstars to, you know, begin to dialogue, since you are the ones who, you know the part of the computer, the YouTube streaming part of it.
Yeah.
So, you know, we can move this forward. Just like you're saying, we can build it up and move it forward. Give thanks.
Most better. Bless her.
Through the chair, God, you know, silence in this thing.
Yeah, I was talking. One moment, please. I was talking and the mic didn't mute. Yes, Honorable Priest Jermaine. We have a platform that we could use for building the contents and just how we're going to put it out on the YouTube, the Priest Reasoning platform. And I believe the eye is on it also.
Yeah,
so it's a platform where we can look to build on, to strategize, and then put it forward. You know that way, Honorable Priest?
Yes, my Lord.
All right. Blessed.
Yeah,
good suggestion. Good suggestion.
Priest advise accent for the floor.
Blessed.
Honorable Priest advise.
Yeah.
Worthy God. Yes, Majesty, give thanks again, you know, for the reasoning. Yes, if Honorable Priest Rastavana not saying anything, I was thinking that I would have blocked a sound there, but yeah, within the curriculum of the Bobo Shanti, I do see it, my Lord and Empress, that yeah, within the curriculum that we could have bring in a institution into the land, you know, within Bobo Shanti, and present it in a way where the people them who come to learn, them get it the right way, you know. Yeah, so within the culture and the teachings, you know, they could have learned it the right way. And I feel that what King Emmanuel set out to do in those 1992 times, you know, was accurate, you know, was definitely on point, you know. So the way we in Africa now is bringing it, and the way the ones them are getting it, to me, I feel like we could more put a package together and you know, build something very concrete and presentable, whether to, you know, one state and to another state, you know, or simultaneously, but we have that package together and we present it, you know, whether to the government, at the various states, and, you know, we in ourselves can build that community, within our schoolroom settings, like a replica of the same Bobo Hill, you know. So we here in South Africa still, we have a beautiful piece of land, very strategical in its placing, and we're setting out. Actually, we're now going to our third meeting, since December 8th, where we're moving in that oneness, you know. So we're reviving the works that we set out to do a few years back, you know. So this time would I really love to have do the thing right, you know. So my presentation is really to try to organize that kind of settings in the land where I am presently, you know. So it's really to bring in more like a institution where ones can come and learn, ones can abide, one can get it like how we get it at Bobo Hill. But this time we try to build something for the youths them, morally, not leaving out the youths them, because I see more time we gather, you know, we have church and all these things, and then the youths them are forgotten. And that's what I see more even in what Dada was trying to show us, that, yeah, Myla, it's a nation, you know. So I were to see ourselves to say that in this kingdom, yeah, our youth them were to be far, because now we grew up in the world and we come to Bobo, and now our children are born Bobo. You see it? So we have to have something on an educational level for them, where even if we are just in a city settings, they don't have to go out there in the world to get the schooling. So I feel, say, in this time now, we have to kind of re-strategize even how we set that foundation and the vision to know that, no, we're putting the youths them first. So even the youths them, they must be occupied within learning, you know, at all times, you know, within even the daily functioning of such an institution, you know. So I feel like if we can put a package similar to even what Priest Isaac is doing in the West, we bring that over into the land. I feel like this is very presentable to even any government. And it's like a strength to that government to say, well, this is what we have to offer to the whole freedom, the whole development of Africa. That meaning we are coming with something very tangible, something very meaningful. So we have a whole package that we can present. And it's not only just the constitution, this curriculum is only academia. It can, you know, we're still dealing with, you know, the full spectrum of life, you know, skills, you know. So it's from agriculture to building, you know, to all these things that a child should know when he becomes a manhood. So even these times, like when a daughter get her journey, when a son is like 14 or 13, you know, they're becoming a manhood, what do we have for them? You know, do they, you know, when we sit down and talk to them and, you know, show them, all right, you're leaving from one phase going to another phase, you know, how do we deal with that? You know, especially when they're looking to us, they want to be priests, they want to be prophets. How do we bring them into you know, the lifestyle to know that, all right, you know, this is what the children them desire. So where I am, a lot of children are looking to us to look into Bobo Shanti. They want to be priests, they want to be prophets, you know, but we have to have something for them. So I give thanks, you know, I just wanted to say, yeah, man, the curriculum is very needed from how we see a curriculum and how we present it, you know. Yeah, when a child
Yes,
comes to us, how are they learning, you know? So yes, my Lord, and I'm blessing.
True.
Yes,
Through the
Honorable
chair.
Priest. Yes,
Priest,
Honorable Priest. Go ahead.
No, if someone else did have them on up, I want to speak. I'm on the wait, you know, my Lord.
No, man, are you one?
Rastafari. Blessed, my Lord.
My Lord.
There's a term where the teacher, priest Kamla, used to read and say, Mama, my Lord, that I say, salvation covers all fields. When him talk about when Dada added Church of Salvation to the name E.A.B.I.C. E.A.B.I.C is a government to get access to the privileges of a church, added that name. And some have accepted that as the defining of the E.A.B.I.C. But when you look for how that talk, when that talk about nation building, not building a church, nation building. All right. There was a priest prince when we there at camp, and all of we left because we say we live at camp and all of that. Priest prince used to do fiberglass repair of trucks and vehicles, body thing. And you can't live on the hill and do it. When him check the father give him access. Go out, go do these things because him have a profession. No, for the things that are being restricted is in ourselves that we restrict them things there and say, I just for praise the Father. And don't think I'm saying that is not the foundation of it, you know. But the Father teaching us of God within ourselves, how to fulfill our destiny. Nation building to Iman all every year. The amount of way they are road. And everybody becoming professional, doing their business. Every year we should have 2 scholarships for two of the empress them or the young princess them who got nursing.
Bam, bam,
Young
bro.
youth them for agricultural science.
Preach on,
These
preach.
things. That is what we call nation building.
Mm-hmm.
We restrict ourselves and it's not that restrict us.
Mm-hmm.
I remember one time I go a yard and the empress them used to have them cheese and them thing in a house and some of them have them little condensed milk and when we come with our tightness and bonfire and all of them thing there, just restricting. That I come for build way. And we have to open our mind, our meditation that way. We see Honorable Priest Isaac. Him build a university, a school system to educate our youth.
Yep.
We have to support these things and Priest Kailash is like a medical institute.
Yep.
So we have to look at these things and develop with the challenge that we have and not be afraid for the youth them to go to school for particular things to build the kingdom. When time these big church out the road, if you go put it with church now, and them get 10%. When them have 5,000 people, when time them say we have a event, a school or something that we want to build over there, so one man, because he is a big professional and have funds, him say, I will donate the first 5,000. And before you know it, how much $1,000 to build the thing. But we have to achieve these things to be able to support the thing that the Father said.
Him give you the blueprint. A foundation of a building is the bottom that you build on top of. And we have to come with our talents and our abilities to build the kingdom where the man want. We can't it's just restriction, and God never restricts stuff. All God wants you to do is do the right. The only restriction God have, that's the wrong. Leave the wrong. Do the thing that is right, that needs to be done.
Glorify.
So we have culture. We have your culture on a different level now. Why we not done for 30 years? Like you plant the seed in the ground. Some seed, 2 days later you see it sprout up. Some seed, it take months. But the germination are going, the gestation and the plant, it will come to know. That's why we have a council level cannot discuss these things. We couldn't discuss these things before. The experience we have and the education level that we have to step up God thing. All we have to do is stay within the right. Different culture now, brethren. University, Jerusalem schoolroom, basic. Jerusalem University, yes. And that's how they know. My Lord and Empress, blessed Lord.
Glorify my Lord.
Bless, my Lord.
Glorify.
And I pray anyone else want to say something right now?
We have to move fast. We have more only for this for finish, you know. So make we just go through the agenda and then we can discuss everything back in.
All right.
Sorry if you talk so much, you don't know about it.
No, my lord. What I said was well needed to be said, my lord. So that no discrepancy there. We just want to go through the thing before
so
anyone else
put
come
up
in.
The next one, car. We read all of these.
Yes.
Supporting cultural practitioners, artists, grants, and residents.
Please.
Provide financial support to local artists, musicians, and artisans to enable them to continue their creative practices and share their work. Cultural centers and spaces. Establish dedicated venues for showcasing and preserving cultural expression like traditional arts form, music, and dance.
And to the chair.
Yes, Empress.
When Empress first came on to the council, one of the things that she did ask is about dance classes and are the youths allowed to, participate. And I think the response was it wasn't something that was done on the foundation, not to say of the foundation that youth were not involved in these things. But those are some of the differences or some of the things that need to change where our youths are able to be artistic, whether they want to be a musician, whether they want to do dance, whether they want to do paintings, sewing, etc. And then we will see the youths coming back or coming forward to the liberty because they're able to express themselves in these ways. We have many youths that are artistic. And they're creative and they're not able to showcase their creativity. My Lord. Back to the chair.
Majesty bless.
Give thanks, Empress Trish.
Well, we see evolution, we evolving. So this is why even as it say, provide establishing that venues where works like that can go on. Because I see Bahamas branch put on a modeling show already. And for me say modeling it, I get a interpretation, but it was a cultural modeling show where it was the daughters, them come out, even some man, some nice African garments, and they had sit down and socialize together. Now that couldn't go on the hill Cause the hill is like a monastery, like. But this is why it's good, as I say, to have venues. Now, someone would have to say, well, just doing that is wrong. And this is the mindset we want to, you know, kind of tone down. You know that way there? Because we must be able to express ourselves in many ways. Honorable priest, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to jump in.
1 second. Or even being able to wear our African clothing on a daily basis, if we so choose, you know, as empresses too. But go ahead, priest. Just wanted to say that.
Yes, honorable priest and royal family. Evolution and development sometimes, you know, is not what we do, is how we do it. I hear all the time, I hear these things, you know, the way the taboos are framed and the way people can get a perception of King Emmanuel. Well, all right, priest Symes have a thing that him say all the time, we just tell you no must tell lie. But we can share what he told both of us and we get a full picture. My lord, my perception of Dada is a little bit different from one's and one's. Because I saw various level of development and growth in my time at Bobo Hill, where I saw youth banquets being put on and different level of our expression, and it was developing, and it was up to the family to developing it in a way that it is morally coded. It expresses our culture, but give youth them their input as well and their part and their role. It is I and I who didn't do that and don't do that. We pay attention to the struggle so much. It is always about the struggle, and we know that the struggle is very intense. We know the kind of evils that we are up against on a daily basis. We are more focused on that and providing the income than we are on social development. But it's I and I that I never with all I and I social development. See, even though it was a monastery and a congress, but it was a man and woman and children kingdom, you know. And as such, you have to have social development. And I saw youth banquets put on where the youths were able to showcase their selves, seeing, quoting things, whatever, however it was rehearsed and developed. But it was I and I should have developed it further and grow with the times and develop it and expand like others in other cultures. It's just that we didn't. But it's not like it's something that the father restricted. And the way we have all these taboos, like it come down from that we are no, Rasta is not what you do sometimes, it's how you do it. Blessed family.
And to the chair,
That's sad.
to support what Bishop Savannah is saying about the youth banquet, several, not only one, but several upon several banquet, because I always be the mother for the banquet. Practicing of our princesses, you know, for recite, for perform, for chant. Yeah. So a lot of things happen. Also, that I did also form Princess Guide. Prince and Princess Guide. And one would have said why Jah would have formed Princess Guide. But Jah did form Princess Guide so that, we could teach the princess them about, their woman and how, to tie their house, how to prepare a meal, how to sew a robe, a turban, etc., reading and writing and etc., etc. So as a priest said, that it does the second and one venture that I have a lot. You understand? When the man say farmer build a clinic, build a school, what does he mean? You understand? We must have our own clinic. We shouldn't be going to Babylon for them to be pushing us there. And we should be having our own clinic. So that's why Dada in 1982, when Dada come out and tell the congregation say need a clinic, right? and also a school. Him have a church already in his. You understand? They need a clean. They need
Give thanks, Mom.
the school, and also we must have our business place like make shop, make up a shop. Instead of we are go down the road, go support to buy look at this, look at that. I think we have our own supporting our own, building ourselves. Yeah, and when we buy from one another. So all these things that are put in perspective, but it never happened. It never materialized. We never build a shop. That's how we must build gift shop. Put in everything that we have created into the gift shop, right now the gift, and it never happened. So it's not like that. I never put these things to us as his children, but it just never materialized.
It was waiting.
Understand? So we can have a fashion show, yes? Why not? Yeah.
Come on, talk the truth, of course.
Yeah.
Moral,
Reality.
why not? You're doing it, you're not portraying the body of, it's not the body of the woman you're modeling. The woman them is modeling their designs, how creative they are, how the kind of materials that they use, the African prints and all there. There's nothing wrong with that. That is it depends on a man's moral code, moral understanding. Look how many great African fashion shows I have seen in my time. Real African fashion shows that Africans put on when they come to the West to sell their wares. And they put on in places, different places like Harlem. See, right there in Miami too. And you go to them and you see the people modeling their and people like the material, and afterwards they get orders from store owners for the materials and so forth and so on. It's a business, it's a way of showcasing your business.
Remember,
my lord.
This one, I just want to say this before I finish here. We are beautiful. We don't have to wear X-rated clothes to show who we are. But we are so beautiful, so attractive in our wear. When we dress, we are so radiant. We don't have to do anything wise. All right, give thanks.
RASTAFARI.
You're supposed to be. What are you doing here?
Oh, shit. It's a natural.
Holy
It's a natural. It's a natural.
Show the chair.
My lord.
RASTAFARI. With discussion, we have to clarify some things. We can't leave off the root cause of the foundation. Freedom, Redemption, International Repatriation. That I say, if you make sure say you have even 1 foot in Africa. But the Congress set up it, when we dip on the altar, we say, give thanks to the E.A.B.I.C, stand churchical, statical, governmental, parliamental.
Exactly.
We are discussing aspects of it, statical, governmental. There has to be that place that the fundamental rights and agitation for our rights continues. So you're going to have the African and all of those things still going on. I'm saying, while we are here, because when I come priest Bobby used to say to me, say, my lad, if me didn't know say we are there so long, would I did plant up this and that on the hill. And that's from 1980 something. When we go back I had the I see breadfruit tree, I see this that pan the hill.
Mango tree.
So, yeah. The reality, we want to go home tomorrow. And we have to be working on that for go home tomorrow. But if the tomorrow take the next 10 years, you can't suspend your life that the youth can go to school and can do this, Empress, them can do this or can do that. As I say, everything is within the principle. But the freedom is there for us to build and make one enjoy the life within the tradition while we're still agitating for our rights. And we want man to develop businesses so that priest advert need a strength for do the agriculture, the priests in Kenya, businesses that need to be done in Ethiopia. All aspects of it have to be discussed. You understand? For people that go and listen where we are reason, no one say it's like you want to stay down here and all of them. No, we don't want to stay down here. But while we are here, we should be progressive for the man say, you have to learn to dance a yard before you go abroad. If we don't learn to do businesses and be professional in all of them things, then when you go home, we're going to do the same thing and sit down and wait for a while again. No, I know that job build with her. You want us to be professional. I remember there was a time when a man from the United Nations did come at the yard, and he was in the Department of Refugees, and him that say him I try to see if him could get our cars in on the floor under the refugee program. And him brought a farm where Dada say, I want to have to fill out as an example.
Yes. Yeah.
You remember, Sister Me?
Yes, man. Yes, priest.
And when time it a read, it say, what is your profession? And remember that I highlight and say, you see, my lad, man, I have to do things for go home. And when you go home, you have to go do things.
Yes.
Me go a Ghana and me and a man in an argument for him. I say, a Empress did it and she want to work. I don't remember if she teach it. She's a teacher. I think she teach music or something. And she want to be a part of the Congress. But she want to work with some part of the government. And the priest I tell her, I say, no, we no work for no one and all of them things. There me I say, that is when time we do out of Babylon, when we go home. We want people, nurses, we want professionals we work on road and work on this and this. We build the kingdom. We can't retard ourselves to let me say, the campsite is a temporary construct, a place we gather till we're ready to go. You don't think of it as your permanent home. All the man them are yard supposed to want to go to Africa. And the next generation of young youth, them will come go and hold the fort until the next wave of man will go home. We have to see this thing broad and big and not restrict our thinking and our perception of what the Father said. The fifth kingdom of the Black Christ is not just go for camp yard, you know? Like me say, the priest with him university, the priest with him in medical place. We have where priest Advara talk about set up schoolroom where we can teach. They're going to be a school for teach the young priests them how to fulfill manifestation in a spiritual lifestyle. But we have to have school where to teach professionals how to do things so that our government, when the people them are Africa, when we appeal to them for this and that, they must say, yes, man, they may have progressive people, man, and them people who want to come home and not think of us as just people come sit down and smoke weed and thing, you know?
True, priest. True.
My Lord, Majesty, blessed Lord.
Institutional buildings, you know, yeah. We have to build our own institution that we need. We have the ability. And please go down the list. Go down the list.
I was saying, the Black Christ salvation addresses all aspects of humanity. Huh? My Lord. Yes, I. So, continue. Yeah, go down the praise. Read it out now.
Leadership and policy changes. Pardon me. Cultural preservation policies. Implement regulations that protect cultural heritage sites and traditional practices from decline. Now, that would be like even Bubba Hill. We have to accept that, you know. I mean, we're afraid. This is where education and educating one another comes in. You know, Bubba Hill is a heritage site. Okay, it qualifies under the status of a heritage site. So whether we want Babylon to recognize it as a heritage site or whatever, but for I and I, it is a heritage site because that is the home of our tradition. That is where our father made his greatest push against Babylon. That is where our father succumbed to his struggles and is laid away. So it is a heritage site for Bobo Shanti. See? So that is on that level. As long as we have a presence in the West, that place should be set up as such. And that is something that we had discussed when the father just passed, that first meeting after the father being laid away. We spoke about this. And, as always, other things, it never manifested. But the palace was to be kept intact, with Jarrad them and certain little things as part of that whole heritage setting. Where if you go to Ethiopia and you go to the Emperor Palace, you see how it's set. Seeing it there for mark history. Seeing because that is what it is. Because the Father is no longer in the flesh present with us. So what he left there has a sacred sentiment to I, and we reflect that through preserving it and showcasing it in a way that people can learn and see and feel the presence that the man had with us.
Almost like a museum.
Almost like, but we're afraid of those names, so we'll try to stay away from them because when you talk about museum, that is a past. But yes, in preservation of a memory, a memorial, see, cultural preservation policies. See, that's what it says here.
Cultural uniform, His Majesty in a mannequinity uniform on and the throne and everything they preserve it there, so I can go back and look at it and see it.
Yes, it reflects history, so the youth them can see. All right, one more thing I'll say before I continue reading. When RASTAFARI and I organized the reenactment of the coronation to mark the Diamond Jubilee in 2000 and what that was 5. After the whole presentation, because it was really a great presentation. After the whole presentation, on the way home, my children, you should hear the kind of questions that my children were asking. You see, all we were saying about our liberty and talking about Queen and King and Haile Selassie and all of that came home to them now in a more real way after seeing the reenactment of it and seeing the symbolism, the sacredness, the way everything, this whole setting, the whole atmosphere. See, it drove it home to them, all age group of my children. There was a great conversation. That's why I know that type of illustration has impact, from how the youth them responded. Yeah, from how the youth them responded. That's why those are the kind of things we're talking about here in preserving your tradition. You have things like that, a reenactment of a great moment in our history.
Yeah.
And you showcase it for the younger generation to feel the real current of what happened. Yeah. Give thanks.
Emperor Selassie, they say, loved plays, he loved the theater. Emperor Selassie.
Marcus Garvey was a patron of the arts.
All right.
Marcus Garvey, Dog Park in Kingston, Eloise Park. See? Marcus Garvey, Harlem, with his Harlem pageantry, with his display on Sundays, when his legions came out and paraded through the streets. And Marcus, what are you talking about? Our deities were patron of the arts, my Lord. Bless them. Community engagement strategies. Encourage government officials to actively involve community members in decision-making processes related to cultural preservation. Cultural awareness training. Provide training for community leaders to enhance their understanding of cultural issues and promote inclusivity. See? And there are courses out there to sharpen your skills in those areas of development. So if we are functioning as a Congress and a government, we would have to, like the priest was saying earlier, provide scholarships, to our bright young ones to go and further their education. Those that we find are gifted in that area, you send them go study that area, further them knowledge in that area and get credentialed in that area. So now they can come forward when they are credentialed and develop that aspect of our Congress to a greater level, to a more, attractive and productive level. Yes, my lord. There are them important considerations. Respect for diversity. Respect for diversity. Acknowledge and value the different perspectives and experiences within the community to ensure all voices are heard, like a platform like this, for instance. Authenticity. Avoid commodifying culture and focus on preserving the genuine essence of cultural practices. Great statement. Great statement. Let me repeat. Authenticity. Avoid commodifying. That means you reduce your culture to just a product, you know. It's a way in which you market your culture that either adds value to it or just commercializes it then. That's really the word. Just commercializes it. So this is a very great highlight right here. Commodifying culture and focus on preserving the genuine essence of cultural practices. You know, why we have our services, why do we have Psalms reading? Seeing, let's try to understand those things more and can explain them better. So when we are teaching the younger generation, there is clear explanations of why we do those things and not just the vague religious regurgitation of what we heard when we heard it back then. Because as we come to understand, where in which we took a lot of things by faith and by just rhetoric being shared. These youths of today, they have the wit. Their wit is created in a way that they are able to question everything at a certain level. And if it doesn't come up with answers that make sense to them, they're not going to hold it. So understanding this is here is saying it's straightforward. Understanding our practices, the essence of our cultural practices, being able to express them clearly with clear narrative is important to preserving our culture. Because that's what we are speaking about here, so, preservation of our liberty. Sustainability. Develop long-term strategies that promote cultural revitalization and ensure the continuity of traditions for future generations. All what we are saying, back to the chair. You can open it up to the floor, my lord, if there is for truth. Blessed and honorable. Honorable chair. Microphone.
My lord. Give thanks. Bless the Lord. Yes, I. Yes, my lord and majesty. Well, the floor is open, my lord and majesty. Share the thoughts with I and I.
How do we preserve the essence of I and I Liberty family? How do we present it to the younger generation? Do we think that the way in which we have been presenting it is still pertinent in this dispensation? Is anything needing to modify? How do we see modification? Because this is where we're at. We're at that crossroads. We are defining, our liberty. How do we make it more applicable? Seeing the emperor in calling the ecumenical conference in 1965, I think it was, either 63 or 65, when he hosted the ecumenical conference of the Oriental Orthodox bishops. He stated, with the information that science now affords us and the purity of the Venerable Father's faith, we can come up with a structure applicable to the people's time and place. So he's putting it on the priest them that come to say, well, with them purity of no faith. The way you have lived and all that you have achieved within that purity. And with the information that science now put on the table, we must can formulate a rhetoric, a narrative, a directive for the people that fits the people era in which them live.
To the chair. Are you
Bless you.
saying here this is where the priests or the priesthood have what is the word? Retreats, the annual retreats where they focus on not only self-preservation and so forth, but on what is going on in the liberty, what is going on the altar, and tweaking it, for lack of a better word, so that it can be the truth and not because some things do come out as questionable when certain ones say it. So are you saying that they should have these retreats annually that look over the whole priesthood order, maybe even the liturgy, and upgrading it or amending, or lack of a better word, if you understand what I'm asking?
I totally understand, and I would leave it to the chair on the floor. I like where you carry it. So you have put it in a good way for the floor to answer and to look at it. Is it that this is a priest reasoning? Is this a formidable approach to say that the priests need to take time out now to reason on altar management, on priesthood development, on priesthood evolution? Then how do we, the growth and development of the order, because everything grows, everything, nothing stays the same, everything changes in one way or another. So
because when I hear what was just read, I'm also thinking of the Woman Freedom Liberation League and the same aspect.
Application.
Right, should apply even to the Woman Freedom Liberation League. And that would help in the totality of building the Congress.
The balance, it's on both the male and the female within the Congress for the development of the Congress, because whatever happens in the Congress affects the members of the Congress, and it's a man and woman kingdom. So that's actually play a vital role.
Correct. Priest Earl, Priest Nappy.
Floor is open, my lord, and Empress.
Yeah, man, I'm here listening, man, You have a kind of dip on a little lens to it.
Yeah.
Get a little bit yourself with a couple of our bridging them, and Empress June is amongst us, so come here at the park and see a little bit, reason and things. So, but I'm listening.
But even something like that, the priests coming together at the park. I mean, because you're in your space, and you maybe at one point, you invite others to come in at a specific time, and they sit and they reason on the priesthood. And likewise the empresses,
Right,
when we love liberty, them thing I will look to, we look to this kind of development, apart from just the formal settings. We have the social development as well. How do we socialize to create that sense of harmony? How do we harmonize? Because when you into those personal settings, you get to know each other more than just the official settings. Then just on these platforms discussing business and problems and things, are just in the service where there's an order. So in those informal settings, you get to know one another on a social, intimate level as family.
Right. Because even within the Woman Freedom Liberation League, and it's not that, some of I and I do not see, hear, or understand what our leading empresses and those empresses before us have gone through, specifically with the 21-day principle. But being that we're out here in the world, not of the world, but in the world, and we are, you know, some of us have to go out and work, and those are the things that can be discussed, you know, to make the league and the members of the league stronger and not look down upon your sister for doing something that she has to do to survive. But while they're keeping within the culture itself. I mean, that's where my intervention.
Well, all I can say, my lord and empress, you know, is so the amount of things we really need to discuss, you know, that should, hey, we have something like that through we, something where happen for hundreds, thousands and thousands a year as life began, a woman go through that cycle. And we still, you know, but no, my lord. Let's, you know, them things they coming like I want to throw a monkey wrench in our business for think for someone like everywhere. I benefit to Virgin and Empress. Them things they done set in our life from long time ago. Or we deal with those issues, you know. And discuss greater issues and make them look for something they are divide with. Or divide the Empress them, you know. Too small, Virgin, you know. Get bigger than that, you know. My lord.
All right.
Yeah, we have greater work, sire. Sustainability right now, you know. What is ahead of us, you know? The fire is just a smoke, you know, of the rubbing together of the two sticks we see in there right now, you know. It not start blaze yet, you know. So if we are not willing to come together and find ways of working together for what His Majesty teaches, collective security, the only surety is collective security, then we're doomed, you know. We are doomed because what is ahead, you know. You're the one that is not we saying it, you know. Don't dare experts are saying it. Food crisis, water crisis, all kinds of different crises because of what they're seeing in the pattern of nature right now. Yeah, a whole field. In just one more thing, a whole field a whole field of peppers in St. Elizabeth the other day just mysteriously just dry down, bam, and them can't figure out why. Just the whole strain of the plant or the man plant come up beautiful and getting ready to flower and bear and things. Just wither right down. And they are chalking it up now to atmospherical changes. So we have to be seeing what's going on and what is coming. And if that don't bring us together closer to knit together to find solutions and development and create the institutions that will protect us, then I don't know what is going to my lord. Let's sit down and repeat.
My lord. And I'd like to take a brief moment, 7 minutes, to read this little piece of inspirational reading to I and I. The soul is drawn to perfect light by 4 white steeds. And these are will and faith and helpfulness and love. That which one wills to do, he has the power to do. And knowledge of that power is faith. And when faith moves, the soul begins its flight. A selfish faith leads not to light. There is no lonely pilgrim on the way to light. Man only gains the heights by carnal things. The 7 battles must be fought, the 7 victories won before the carnal things like fear and self, emotions and desire are put away. When this is done, the Christ will take possession of the soul. The work is done, and man and God are one. Selassie, yeah.
Yeah.
My Lord. It's a little bit of inspirational reasoning, seeing how the reasoning first started up, and then priest will come and put the adjection, which was a key chosen few. And the reason start up with the work and sometimes the frustration of that few. But at the end of the day, we